Wait, are we going? Are we going?
Yeah, we're on. We're waiting for you.
We're going. Good. I've got a lot of things to talk about. What do you want to talk about, Lofa? Do you want to talk about the end of an era? Would you like to talk about how it's done, how the window is closed, how abandoned ship, every man for himself, ready the lifeboats? It's over, baby. Is that what you want to talk about? You know what I have in this coffee cup, Lofa? Liquor. I have liquor in this coffee cup. It's the morning when we're recording. These Seahawks are going to put me in an early grave, my friend. Is that what you want to talk about? Will that make you happy, Lofa?
I don't think it was that bad. Calm down. I think we're going to be okay.
It burns a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it didn't hurt. It hurts. But end of an era?
All producer Katie had was rye. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I'm proud of you for that. At least they brought out the big boy in Brett Davern. So that's all we needed. It was a loss, huh?
Put some hair on these Seahawks are going to put some hair on my chest for sure. Oh, my God. I picked a hell of a day to quit drinking, Lofa. This is going to be a wild show, man. Dude, it's over, buddy. It's over.
Get at nonsense.
End of an era. All right.
We have started historically a couple times poor, like 1-3, 1-2. And then we just came back, went straight to the playoffs. If you like that sort of thing, stay with me.
I'm going to need some of your positivity on this one, buddy. I'm going to need you to help me through this. I think a lot of Seahawk fans out there are drinking this morning too, or doing whatever else they're doing to cope. We're going to need you. Okay.
Let's start the show, brother.
All right. Hit the theme song. Please.
Let's get this crowd going now. Come on, get him up, get him up, get him up. Hawks on three. 1, 2, 3.
Lofa Tatupu is up in the mix.
Go Hawks.
I'm just about that action, boss.
Takes the snap. He's going to throw down the middle. What a catch.
It's intercepted by Lofa Tatupu.
Holy catfish.
Hey, that's great football now. It's going to work now. Let's keep playing.
Who's got my back? I got your back.
That's Lofa. A player. Trouble playing. Thunder. On one, ready, play.
Russell looking.
Go Hawks.
Russell scrambling.
Go Hawks.
Pump faking.
Go Hawks.
Still looking. Now he spins out.
We got to fly, baby.
35-40. Down the far sideline. He's still moving. He's going to go.
Yes. 20, 10. They do it again. Touchdown. 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 Seahawks.
It's the Seahawks podcast on the Bleav Sports Network and on Brinks TV. Shout out to Brinks TV, Brinks.tv. Thanks for checking us out in video form or subscribing in podcast form or wherever you're listening. We love you for it. Thanks for joining us. It's the Seahawks podcast. I'm Seahawks superfan Brett Davern. He is Seahawks legend and all-pro linebacker Lofa Tatupu. What's up, buddy?
How's it going, man?
We'll see. You guys can send your emails to seahawkspod@gmail.com, seahawkspod@gmail.com. Follow us on all social media at Bleav in Seahawks. And remember that on game day, and a lot of you guys entered last game day, so good job. Nobody got it, though. But remember, on all Seahawks game days, we're doing the final score prediction challenge on Instagram, where you could win a jersey, but we'll check in on that. I guess right now, nobody won. Okay, moving on. On today's episode, the Seahawks forgot again that there are two halves to a football game. I can't believe it happened 2 weeks in a row. I'm so pissed, and we'll see if Lofa can calm all of us down, or if he's, joining us in our PO'dness. But first, our sponsor, Lofa. Let's take a deep breath. Talk about our dear, sweet sponsor. Bet Online, guys. They are back and better than ever. They have the earliest odds out there in the business. All of the eyes are turning towards the gridiron. Teams are back for another football season. As always, Bet Online is your number one spot for pro and college football action this season. They've updated the site and the interface. The app is all updated. Go to betonline.ag. Use the promo code, which is different. It's NFL100 to get a 100% welcome bonus. Sorry, buddy, but they kind of took your line there and changed
NFL 100. Just for anybody not listening. That's the number 100.
the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. Right now, the Seahawks for this upcoming weekend at San Francisco are -3 with a 51.5 over under. If you want to get in on that at BetOnline.
-3? No way.
That's what Jimmy emails says. Jimmy emails.
Jimmy E? Jimmy E is giving us -3 versus Jimmy G?
Hey, I get the weekly email from Jimmy, okay, from betonline.ag. Jimmy bets. He sends me the email, and that's what it said. So if you want to get it on that, go to betonline.ag. All right, Lofa, so let's get to it, man. Seahawks, they lose their second straight. They lose to the Vikings 30-17. I told you right here on our air that the Titans game would cost us more than one, and it already has. I think it's all the same problems from the Titans game. The Vikings just took that playbook and basically did the exact same thing with the screens and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we were up by double digits. We then lost that lead. I mean, this one was more depressing for some reason, probably because it was the second one in a row. But I mean, where do you want to begin? I'm the one pounding the table on this.
Where do we start? It sounds like you have a lot to talk about.
Buddy, I mean, 2 weeks in a row, the same thing, basically. What is going on?
I mean, the tale of two halves, like you said, and I don't know. Maybe we should have played in the preseason into the third quarter.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I haven't heard anyone talking about that. Do you think that's a real thing? You think there's some sort of
No,
but I haven't heard anyone bring that up, but that's a great point, man.
Well, I mean, the starters didn't even play the first half, so I'm not too worried about it. But there is always that psychology of, like, especially the third game. You know, you play the first game, you play one quarter, second game, first half. Third game was the dress rehearsal where I was like, okay, we're going to play the first half, and then, you know, I better see a good showing. Like defense, you go 3 and out, or offense, you know, you get a couple first downs, we'll pull you. You know, you don't have to play the full third quarter. And so, you know, I don't know if that's playing into it. It could, because as creatures of habits, if we're not used to going out and playing a full 60, you're probably not going to play a full 60. Yeah,
man, that's a great take. I honestly haven't heard anyone bringing that up, and I mean, I like where your head's at there.
You're welcome. Great
point. Dude, this offense though. I mean, let's start with the offense, just like we did last week. I mean, who's to blame for this struggles after? I mean, it seems like you said, they come out in the first quarter. We all lay back on our couches and think, hey, this might be an easy ride today. And then
I'll tell you what, whatever Waldron's doing in terms of scripting the first 15, usually, you know, you go in, you got 15 plays that the offensive players, they know this is what we're going to run, right? Unless something, you know, catastrophic happens, you get like 5 holding penalties and you can't run the play that was number 3 on the list. So they already have a vision of what they want to do offensively and how they want to attack. And so the way he starts a game, the way he, you know, the first quarter, first several drives is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, but there has been a little question now. I think we didn't score at all in the second half, right? Like we got outscored 21-6 in the last game. We outscored the Colts 7-6 in the first game. So there's some questions of, you know, how do we sustain that? You know, that's just what I'm wondering.
Well, and again, though, I mean, Russell Wilson, great numbers. If you just looked at his line, I mean, 23 of 32 for 298 and a touchdown, no picks, you know, really efficient with the ball, right? Like good yardage. It just, but yuck. You know, here we are again talking about like great personal numbers, but the team ends up with an L, you know, at the end of the day. It's not coming at the right time. Like, is it Russ? I mean, come on, man.
No, I'm not ready to say that Russ isn't doing enough. Like you mentioned, and maybe even a coach mentioned earlier. You know, like where you say could have helped us out. No, I mean, those are solid numbers. He didn't turn the ball over.
But that's
one of the biggest things.
High and outside on third down when you're taking a blitz, Kirk Cousins is completing those passes.
Oh my God! Get out of here with Kirk Cousins. Get out of here with that.
Get out of here with Kirk Cousins. Oh, buddy, wait till I hit you with his numbers.
We'll get to the defense in a little bit.
Okay,
but no, and then even on 2 of those big positive gains we had in the run game, it was Russ checking out. And the irony of it, the 30-yard touchdown run, Minnesota was in the exact stick defense that we run. And so that was, ironic and also, saddening because.
Well, wait, we're going to get to the running game in a second. I'm holding your feet to the fire on this a little bit. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, missing open wide receivers. I mean, hot throws in on passes that could be completed. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, deep balls, those moon balls that we all love, but receivers are really slowing down to have to wait for those, and the defense is catching up. And Tyler Lockett, I mean, with what he's able to do sometimes, he makes up for those moon balls sometimes. We gotta start being honest a little bit, I think, about how Russ is playing in these second halves. Come on.
I still don't have a problem with it. Not turning the ball over. Yeah. You give me a guy that doesn't turn the ball over, you're giving us a chance to win. And, I mean, that's bottom line. Even Justin Fields. Justin Fields is his first start, got his ass kicked up and down the field, 9 sacks, didn't turn the ball over. They lost 26-3 or 6, but realistically, 26-3. I mean, that's still a 3-score game with the 2-point conversions. I mean, that's. Look,
I'll stand alone on this island. That's fine for now. We'll see how the season keeps going. I'll be out here
you will.
first. Fine.
Stay out there.
Fine. That's fine.
Whatever.
Let's talk about the opposing quarterback for a second, okay? Kirk Cousins, 30 of 38. Okay, he only missed 8 of them. 30 of 38 for 323 and 3 tutties. Okay, versus Russell Wilson's numbers, which I already gave you. I mean, which one's the supposed MVP candidate? Okay, I mean, come on.
Anybody can have one good game, bro.
Kirk Cousins stringing together better ones.
What's he done the rest of his career? What's he done the rest? Get out of here.
All right.
No, it was pretty impressive. Even I think was Kirk the one they said he's averaging like 2.6 or 2.5. Mm-hmm. He's getting rid of the ball, and so that's
he gets what what we're not seeing from Russell. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, there's no chance
coming. He dumps it right over the top. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm fired up. I'm sorry.
I can tell. There's no chance to get a pass rush or generate a pass rush if the ball's coming out in under 3 seconds.
Right.
So, which points
but
to.
Why aren't we doing that on our side of the offense, though?
On our offense?
Yeah, like if that's how they're beating us, why don't we take a page out of their book and have Russell be getting it out faster, man? Can he not see over the line? I know these are old questions that I thought we were done with, but why do I find myself asking them?
Well, that is a question for Waldron. But again, he was throwing from the pocket on those first couple. I mean, the first play was a rollout pass. Mm-hmm. And you can do that. That help complements the run game. So that's kind of the thing is like now when we get into the second half, it looks like we're just doing drop back passes. And it's like, come on, man. Like what happened to the fly sweep that we saw? What happened to, all the plays that like get everybody like, oh, watch this over there. And then all of a sudden there's a pass to the flats that goes for, 15 yards. So it's, I don't know. I'm not going to blame Russ. He can only play the plays that is our call.
Listen, I understand that. It's just 2 years in a row with 2 different offensive coordinators, Schottenheimer and now Waldron, right? Mm-hmm. Where for some reason, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Freddie Swain, receivers we've had in the past, talent at wide receiver, for some reason, seemingly he can't just hit a quick hot route when the blitz is coming in. He gets that. He takes that sack. He pats that ball a few too many times. And we're playing other teams where we see the other quarterbacks doing what we want ours to do. That's what I'm just trying to say from the fan perspective. You don't agree?
Nah.
All right. Let's get on to the running game. 2 weeks in a row, same question. Why the F are we not running the ball? The other team is down by double digits and they are running the ball, and we're up by double digits and we're not running the ball. It makes no sense. When is this team just going to commit to the running game?
I mean, I thought that was the whole big thing about, with the new offense and what Pete's end of the year remarks. I want to run the ball more. I want to get back to what we were doing with Marshawn. I want to get back dominant. And
they looked good early in the game.
They were kicking ass in the run game. What Carson had 80 yards again, like 7-yard average, 6.5. I
think he had 79 on his first 10 carries, 7.9 yards per carry. Is that something you should probably do more of?
I mean, where to go?
I don't know.
Did Carson get tired?
Look, we're just asking the questions that fans are asking. Everybody's watching the game just going, what is the deal? Our Seahawks running backs had 3 carries in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, what was that? Was that like 40% of our plays? Well, we had 10 plays. I mean,
we only had 12 plays, but I mean, dude. So who's checking out of the run? Is Russell's checking into some of those runs, but is he also checking out of runs? Or are they just not being called? What do you think?
I mean, I don't know, but they're just not. There's no rhythm to the second half. There's no like, okay, this is what we're going to come out and do. Whether come out and run the ball 3 straight times and see what happens. If you get shut down, okay, at least the clock's running. So we're keeping our defense fresh because they've been out there for 70, 80, and 70 plays.
Yeah.
So on top of us getting off the field, and we'll get to that, we could do ourselves a favor on offense. Is like, just shorten the game, especially against Tennessee last week.
I'll be interested to know what our listeners think. Hit us up, SeahawksPod@gmail.com. I mean, what do you think the issues are with this offense in the second half? For me, and I don't know if they keep statistics on this, but a lot of first down incompletions. And then that sets you back to 2nd and 10, and they're already way behind. Instead of just picking up those first few yards on first down are so important, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Right?
Get ahead of the tempo, yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. You guys let us know what you think. SeahawksPod@gmail.com. Why do you think this offense is struggling so much, especially in the second half? Let's talk about some positives. At least a really good first half for DK Metcalf after having, what we all said was not his best game in week 2. But especially in the first half, man, I mean, he ends the game with 6 catches for 106 and a touchdown. Just looked like he really came to play. Great game for him.
Yeah, not much to follow up on that one. He looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just keep going to him.
Yeah. The only question I would have is, and again, guys, I am a homer, but I have to ask these questions, and fans are talking about it on Twitter. Does he, in your mind, Lofa, win enough of these 50-50 balls down the field? Because a lot of people are thinking for his size and everything that...
Which one did you have a problem with specifically?
Look, listen, first of all, I'm speaking on behalf of fans, okay?
And I'm asking you a question because
they are asking about more his history, not necessarily even just this one in the game, but a lot of times we see him kind of not winning those balls, like not going up strong enough, kind of getting pulled down easily and stuff like that. Do you see that in your mind or not at all?
Not to the point where we don't give him more opportunities, but that last one, his arm got pulled down. He didn't mistime that jump. Peterson or whoever was covering him pulled his arm down. The guy landed on his head.
He did.
So I don't know how you missed that call.
Yeah. Your boy Sanchez said he jumped early.
Unbelievable.
Okay, but seriously, like, when are we going to see DK Metcalf like truly take over a game like the receivers that we think he can be, like a Megatron, like a Larry Fitzgerald, like a Julio Jones? I mean, when is he going to just from start to finish take over a game?
I mean, it takes that kind of opportunity to get 15 targets. I mean, if that's what you're asking for, that's why those guys always ended up with 10, 12 receptions, 100+ yards, a couple touchdowns. But when you got a guy like Tyler Lockett on their side, one of the most I don't even think the defenses respect him, because like this guy is torching everybody. And, you figure you just put your best on him until, like you're saying, DK proves that he is that guy. I mean, he's made a lot of phenomenal catches, a lot of runs after, but Lockett has done this since he got in the league. And, every time everybody looks back like, oh man, that Lockett kid really came out of nowhere. Well, no, he's been here for like 6 years doing the same fucking thing. Yeah. And you guys just don't give him any, acknowledge him on defense.
That injury, man, my heart was in my throat there for a second.
I thought it was either the fractured tib fib, which he had several years ago.
Yeah.
Or I thought it was patella, the way he grabbed it, either patella or ACL. And
the way the whole team was out on the field on one knee, like that's never good.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and Lockett's a tough dude. I don't care, how little he is. He's one of the tougher dudes out there. So, like, for him to stay down, there was a real scare for him, pulled in might even be a knee bone bruise, because he did go back out there. And I've played through a bone bruise before, and it's not fun. Probably going to have to get that thing drained a couple times. But, yeah. Oof. Sorry, didn't mean to go there. I know you.
No, you're all good.
Drinking your whiskey or whatever.
No, wait. Let me take a slug after that one.
Yeah.
Balance. All things in balance, Lofa. Offense, defense.
Offensively, right?
Both sides of the ball, things like that. Balance 7, guys. Balance7.com. Balance 7 is a drink that's going to balance out your alkalines and get your pH all lined up and give you some energy. It's like vitamins or supplements. It's in liquid form, just 1 ounce a day, 3 times a day in 1 week, and you will see the effects. Right now, you go to balance7.com, use our promo code. You know this one.
Bleav?
That's right.
BLEAV?
Yeah. The bottle lasts 11 days. Or sorry, when you use the promo code, you get $10 off their 32-ounce bottle. That bottle lasts 11 days, which is the perfect amount of time to feel the pH balancing drink go to work. Again, that's balance7.com. Use our promo code Bleav, all caps, BLEAV, at checkout for balance7.com. All right, Lofa, defense. What are we going to do about the defense? The headline says it all.
Well, where do you want to start, man?
I mean, well, dude, you're the former captain, man. You tell me.
I mean, you can't stop anyone if you don't stop the run. And so I guess we'll start there. As I pointed to earlier, the play Russ checked to, that was the exact defense we run. And it just shows that it's scheme and maybe a little bit of personnel, because I know we're going to get to that question later, right?
Yeah.
Because if we were able to hit a 30-yarder without Carson getting touched, then that's probably not. It's not that we're not stout at the line of scrimmage. We are. We got the big bodies. Monet was in there. All of them. We have 5 guys with those 2 Taylor and those outside linebackers walked up, and they're more DNs. Mm-hmm. So. In terms of the point of this game, we're not winning the line of scrimmage with that, though, and that's concerning.
What kind of, as you're watching the game, what's Lofa Tatupu saying on his couch? What kind of adjustments would you be making at halftime or whatever?
I'd be going back to the old 4-3 that we know, but my question is, do we have the personnel for Kenny Norton to do that? I know everybody's like, oh, everybody's a fucking great defense coordinator when they're sitting on the couch after having some beers, but when you're in the shit.
Hey, man, I'm calling blitzes all day long. I'm sitting in the house, baby.
I mean, you could do that too if you want. But I'm saying, when you're out there and you're faced with decisions, it's like, okay, well, we are defensive line heavy. And when I say heavy, we have a lot of big bodies. Mm-hmm. We don't have the quick, guys that we used to that were downhill shooting gaps with the 4-3, right? Yeah. So that's kind of what we moved on to when we went to this roster, if you will. Yeah. This was going to be our base defense.
Okay.
And I think, we're not stuck there, but it would take some personnel changes.
Well, let's look at specific position groups, okay? The secondary, they're struggling, man. Clearly. I mean, everybody can see it. They gave up 323, and like I said, to Kirk Cousins, who only missed on 8 passes for the entire game, and he threw, what did I say? I mean, he threw over 30, didn't he? Yeah, he threw 38 of them, so it's not like he wasn't throwing the ball that much. I mean, they were struggling, man.
Well, and Pete said we threw everything at them defensively, right? You saw him say that?
That's not a good quote after a game like that.
Okay, well, if we threw everything at them and guys are still wide ass open, that's not a scheme thing, because that means we went man a couple of times and guys just wide open. So, because I read the comments too of some of the guys in the secondary, like, oh, well, there's some scheme thing. No, man, if you have nobody around you, you're not doing your job. Go find a fucking receiver and cover him. And that's what's blowing my mind about, guys just sitting there. It's like not even 8 yards within the guy that, you have to cover. Yeah. Come on, man. That ain't scheme, bro.
Well, look, usually we're looking at Trey Flowers, and a lot of Seahawk fans are. We're not the only ones. But this game, I mean, DJ Reed didn't have a particularly solid game this time either. And so, I mean, I'll ask you, is it time to give some new guys some chances? Where's Ryan Neal? Where's Sidney Jones? Just plug them in. It can't be any worse at this point, right?
I mean, give them a chance. Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, I wasn't upset with the way Reed, he was still out there battling.
I mean, trying, of course, he's putting in the effort. But it's something's not working.
Yeah, but I mean, Trey, God bless him, love the kid, but it's like, that on that over route, that dig.
Well, let me move on to him officially, because that's my next thing. Hold on, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but let's just get it up on the headline, because Trey Flowers, I mean, he says it's a schematic thing. That's the quote.
Schematic,
So, I mean, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I just, even if it's zone, I mean, if it's man, then it's declared. The one play I'm talking about where we had, I think Ugo's on the point, and then there's an in and out, but I didn't see them communicating in and out. So it tells me it was most likely a zone where you're just going to. So once the first vertical declares, even if he breaks in, you have that guy.
Yeah.
Like there's no, like I know the other guy ran like kind of a wheel route that becomes second through the zone. And now that flat defender has to take that guy, even if he goes into your deep third over there. But so I'm confused as to what, the schematic thing, because I don't care what scheme you're running. No defense calls for guys to be wide ass open, like not even like 7-8 yards within, the area of them.
But this is literally what Trey Flowers said. He said it's a schematic thing. He went on to say that there's confusion among some guys on how to defend certain routes. So like, that doesn't sound great.
No,
like, they're trying to play defense, and it's not great that he's just openly saying that. Like we don't know. Yeah. He's kind of just saying we don't really know what we're doing back there, and we're trying the best we can.
Yeah, and that's tough to take as a player or a coach. That shit stays in house. Like we don't talk about that outside. And
so is it fair though? I mean, because Trey Flowers is the one shouldering a lot of this blame from Seahawks fans. Is that fair?
I mean, if he says he knows what he's doing, then I guess I have no choice but to replace him. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, is that what we're talking about? Do we want to go there? And so, it's just I don't like the comment. I do like the kid, and if there's general confusion, then I think the toughest thing is though with the scheme that we are running, underneath help is not as present. Okay, because now you've got two DNs playing, one's going to rush, the other one's going to drop. You got the safety coming down the other way. So it essentially plays like a 4-3, but it's not going to feel the same. And you got a DN dropping. Mm-hmm. That used to be KJ Wright.
Oh, wow.
Right.
We're getting there.
Are we, okay. Well, I'm just saying one of those why we were so successful with the stick package, the stick defense, our base defense, the 5-2 look was because you had KJ Wright as one of those outside edge defenders and, flat droppers. So KJ, if there's no threat to the flat, he's going to look to one, help out. And then if not, he'll squeeze the hash. So now you would have Wags, Brooks, and KJ. You'd have three there. Like he was a smart player, one of the smartest players I've been around that would do things like that.
When it comes to Trey Flowers, I got to tell you, man, I mean, I'm looking at more of the social media than you are, I think. And I mean, he's getting hammered in all the comment sections, everything. And
I know. I feel for the kid.
Like him, for these younger guys who are all over social media, he has to see it. I mean, at what point do you worry about all of that extra stuff just damaging his confidence? I mean, he obviously has the ability to play, but man, I mean, he's just really having to shoulder a lot of this burden. So
I feel for the kid. And then, but when you put a comment out like that,
yeah,
I mean,
I know
because if he's not going to play here, when you go to the next team, you think the coach is going to be like, oh yeah, I'll take that guy. And I feel bad for him because he's a young guy. And I think this is just like something that if you could just keep it in house, because it's going to affect him going forward. That's where I feel really bad.
I hear it. Well, it's someone we couldn't keep in house. Oh, KJ Wright. Every single time a opposing team runs a screen pass, you should just take a shot on your couch, and pour one out for KJ Wright. Dude, are you kidding me? I mean, here's where we got to talk about personnel a little bit, I guess. Like, where has KJ gone? Like, we need him. He could sniff those things out better than anyone. That's what he was known for. This is exactly what we needed him for.
Well, I mean, that's, and for years, and we even talked about it last year, it's like, if you ever have a screen ran towards number 50, towards KJ Wright, just check out of it. Otherwise, you're going to get a tackle for a loss, a big hit. And, So now, is KJ going to be there for every screen that we've ran? I doubt it. But I guarantee you he's going to alert people if he sees something because he was the best at doing it. But the screen game's on everybody. If you get into the backfield way too easily as a D lineman, edge defender, Sam, or Will linebacker, you're like KJ Wright, Spider-Man. The Spidey senses have to start tingling and say, wait a minute, that was way too easy. this has to be a screen.
Well, that's what
It's a
Pete
setup.
said. That's what Pete said. His quote is, "We're just not recognizing them right now." And my quote back to Pete is, "I know someone who knows how to recognize them very well. He used to go to Mississippi State. He won a Super Bowl for you. Remember that guy?"
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All
That's
right.
all I can say. Yeah.
All right, we'll move on. Live read. Intro. Exciting news. Our pod is partnering with playactionpools.com this season to bring some interactive fun to the sport that we love the most. If you guys are doing office pools out there, you should run them on playactionpools.com. You guys can also enter our own company football pick'em. It's the Bleav football pick'em. Go to playactionpools.com. It's free to enter. You pick the games every week. And then if you win, you can win some electric sunglasses or a pair of DC shoes. There are winners every single week in our Bleav football pick'em. But you can run your own pools and stuff like that on playactionpools.com. Sign up for our contest. Once again, that's the Bleav football pick'em, or just run your own. Playactionpools.com, your new home for all of your office sports pools. Lofa, specifically about personnel, Jamal Adams. Where has Jamal Adams been so far this season is what a lot of fans are asking out there. Paid a lot of money for him. He's got the big new contract and all that stuff. He was predicting for himself, I think we said 12 sacks and 5 interceptions. And through 3 games so far, it's a big goose egg in both of those columns. And his most memorable play of the season so far was a roughing the passer that probably cost us the game, maybe. Could have, potentially. So what's up?
Man, I want to know too. Because if we're gonna run that 3 deep, why not leave him deep a couple times and bring up Diggs, show something different? But if not, when you bring him in the box, there's probably an 80% chance that he's blitzing. So it's just maybe they don't want to tip their hand about what they're doing. But it's tough, man. That's all I can say.
I mean, look, I'll just ask it flat out. That was an expensive contract. And when you see a pass rush not getting home, when you see screenplays not being recognized without KJ there, when you see a lack of a cornerback, I don't know, cornerback play, whatever you want to say there. We didn't bring in any, other free agents, Richard Sherman.
Yep.
We didn't spend money in all those other places, and we signed Jamal Adams to this big contract. And I mean, he's a safety, and I love safeties, but game-changing safeties, I mean, there's just, is that really what we needed when there's these other things lacking, perhaps?
I don't know. It remains to be seen. We gave up a lot for him, so you knew he was going to be here.
Right.
So now the question is, where does he fit into the scheme? And honestly, I don't know. I can't even tell you, Brett.
Wow. Okay.
You gotta blitz him. You gotta blitz him because.
Oh, I know, but then they just dump it right over the top.
Yeah, but I haven't seen a exceptional knowledge or football IQ for route recognition.
Yeah.
From him. And
well,
so,
let me ask you this. Can I? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just fired up.
No, whatever. I'm done.
Oh, sorry. I have a question for you. What about this? Why don't we just change his position? Why doesn't he just play whatever Bruce Irvin played? We roll Trey Flowers back to his natural safety position. We put someone else in at cornerback or something like that. I don't know. But if we're not going to, I don't know. If he's not going to cover, if his best attribute is rushing the passer, then let's just do that.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. And I don't have any problem with him playing the edge because you don't have to be stout on the edge. Just run around the corner. Run around the corner and make the play.
I guess I should be defensive coordinator for the Seahawks.
I don't know about all that.
All right.
But
all right. Where has the pass rush gone? That's my last question about the defense, and then we'll move on. We were praising the pass rush after week 1. They create a lot of pressures, but I mean, these quarterbacks, like we keep talking about, they just get rid of it right away. So it's not getting home.
The ball was gone in under 3 seconds.
I know.
Do you know how hard it is to get past somebody?
No, I don't.
5 seconds.
I'm an idiot with a microphone. I understand that, but I have to ask the question.
Well, when they get rid of the ball quick, we don't have a chance. So, coverage, tight coverage on top of, pass rush.
What is it? Why don't we jam the wide receivers anymore? Have the rules changed that much? Is the Legion of Boom gone? Why?
No,
Why
but I mean, I think
we do that.
I think you're getting appreciation for how good those guys were.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. I know, the ball came out quick when Cliff and Mike B and Mebane were rushing the passer, right? And then you got Bobby and KJ. The ball comes out quick, but Richard Sherman was up there jamming, and he'd step in front of the receiver, Yeah. And, and he still, wouldn't get beat deep. So how do you play both? You're a Hall of Famer plays both. And so that's the answer. That's your answer for me, is that Cam, Earl, Sherm, Browner, Maxey, like all those guys, they were that good. And, I feel bad comparing all these other guys to them, but it's like, that's what you're just used to, the best. All right. And so
I know.
Now
that's what I was saying, man. It's a different era. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's definitely not those times anymore, but hopefully it gets better. Moving on, let's check in on the rest of the NFC West. The Rams win, the Cardinals win. The 49ers lost a very close one to a very good team in Green Bay. We are at the bottom of the NFC West standings at 1-2. Did you see the rest of the division? Takeaways? The Cardinals look awesome. They look like they're going to be really.
They played the Jaguars. Get out of here.
Dude, Kyler Murray's balling out, dude. And that defense is taking the ball away a bunch.
I think Murray had 2 interceptions.
All right.
I got him in fantasy.
How do you think our secondary is doing against Hopkins right now, though? Come on.
Hopkins? Well, AJ Green just went off for like 140 or 130. That guy's had a resurgence.
All right, I wasn't going to bring that one up, but okay.
Yeah. Get out of here with that, man. We'll worry about them when we play them, man.
Yeah. All right, fine. What about, let's see, the Rams? The Rams, are they real? Are they pretenders? What do you think?
Yeah. They look very real. And Stafford's got a great understanding of what McVay wants to do with that offense.
Dude, they took it to once, the Bucs, man. Yeah, and the Bucs, people picking them for the Super Bowl again. So
the Bucs have a good defense. So that is, on my radar that, wow, okay, these guys finally have an offense to go with their defense.
Mm-hmm. And then San Francisco, which we'll get into a lot more later in the week on our preview of the Niners. But dude, they lost a squeaker in Green Bay. Trey Lance looks like he can get a yard anytime he wants. I don't know. That defense looks filthy.
I don't know. I was, Green Bay, they had a large lead. All right, Brett. And they gave it up. All right.
They came back and got it back.
Well, nothing made me happier. It was a rough Sunday. It's always a rough day when the Hawks lose. Nothing made me happier when see the Niners high-five and cheering with 37 seconds left. And then they panned to Aaron Rodgers. And he's over there rallying the troops. He's like, yo, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go down, and then we're going to win. And they did a little huddle break. And I was like, I believe that guy.
Yeah.
And that first pass he threw over the outstretched hand of Fred Warner, who's a phenomenal athlete playing middle linebacker. That was the stuff legends are made of. I'm not going to lie, man, because I thought it was picked. He knew that Fred was flat-footed and he couldn't turn his hips and get enough oomph to do a real vertical, and the ball just falls right over your hand. Oof, been there. It's one of the worst feelings in the world.
Oh, man. Whoever gets Aaron Rodgers next year is going to get a rejuvenated Aaron Rodgers.
Right?
Wherever he plays
play another 10 years.
Oh, he's going to look great in a Seahawk uniform. All right, moving on. Zone in segment. He's going to look so good in blue and green.
Get out of here.
Don't forget, Uncle Brett said it first. Here we go. Live read for Zone in CBD, zoneincbd.com. Producer Courtney made a face about Uncle Brett, I think. She was thoroughly skeeved out, as most of our listeners were, I'm sure. Anyway, zoneincbd.com, everybody. It's Lofa's company. That's where you go for the best CBD in the business. Sign up for a subscription today. It shows up on your doorstep like clockwork. You never have to think about it. Take a capsule a day, a tincture a day, whatever you want. The topicals, right? Do you got bubble baths yet?
No, we're in the works of putting that together, though. You'll be the the guinea pig on that one. I'll
Bath
send it to you.
bombs for everybody. Hell yeah, dude. Absolutely. I'll be your
Bath bombs.
lab
What are you,
rat on that
7?
one.
My
Yeah.
kid takes bath bombs.
That's awesome. Come on. We need a CBD bath bomb from Zone.
Maybe some Epsom salt.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I don't know. I think we should get a bomb going.
I think that's what grown men do. Epsom salt baths.
I'm talking about the ladies, man.
Oh,
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Use the promo code Bleav. That's your line. Take it
BLEAV.
for 20% off at zoneincbd.com. All right. Well, hey, man, we're zoning in on the stretch ahead for the Seahawks because you guys, all joking aside, it's not an easy road. We go on the road to Santa Clara to play the Santa Clara 49ers on this Sunday. And then after that, Thursday night, right? Against the Rams.
We don't look that far ahead, buddy. All right?
Dude, hey.
We're zoned in on the opponent at hand.
My friend, we are 1-2, and we're playing the Niners on the road and the Rams up next, staring 1-4 directly in the face. You said that this last game wasn't a must-win. Is this next game against the Niners a must-win? Don't tell me tease it because we'll talk about it on the next episode.
Okay. I guess I'll say nothing. You got the breakdown this week.
Oh, come on. Give me something. Give me something on it. Come on. Oh, all right, fine. We'll get into it on the very next episode, you guys. It's a tough stretch ahead. We'll be there for each other through it, and so will our friend Jim Beam be there.
I'll tell you what, there was no bad penalties, and that's what we asked for. So the guys are learning. I'm encouraged by that.
Well,
all right.
Excuse me. One very bad penalty on Ugo Amadi very early on, but that was the only one of the game, at least.
Yeah.
Come on. 3rd and long, holding.
We only had 4, though.
Yes.
4 or 5. That's what we call in the biz progress. We went from 10 down to 5.
That's true.
This week it could be 2.5. I don't know how we get to there, but whatever.
That's a wrap, everybody. Hit the theme song, and we'll pray for less penalties, I suppose. Is that what we're going to break it down to on this?
No, really? We're on to San Fran on 3.
Okay.
We're on to San Fran on You better fucking say it. We're on to San Fran. 1, 2, 3. We're on to Santa
Clara.
Yeah, you're actually right.